Hey, so I don't really know how to start this off right now, but I just wanted to talk a bit about how today I realized that when I was younger, I clearly had signs of being trans, and I never thought any more about it or anything. Anyways, let's get started with this, I guess. So back in elementary school, I tended to hang around guys a lot. And the guys I tend to hang around a lot with were more on the feminine side acting, like, and I always thought that was really cool and sweet and stuff, and I never understood why that felt, so nice to hang around those guys that felt more feminine than not. And now the one that I hung around with the most when I was younger is now trans, and she's great. I love her a lot. I love her so much. But back then, we were both going through our own dysphoria issues, and I just want to explain my side of this. I didn't know what I was. I always felt very insecure about myself. I always felt very, just like bad about myself. I always felt very insecure. I always felt like I was very ugly. I always felt like I was a bad person. I never quite got to the point that I felt comfortable looking at myself in the mirror, ever. And I didn't know why at that point in time. Around 2019, I was on a call with some Discord friends that I don't talk to anymore, but they're important to the story. Not really, not the people in specific, but the actions that was happening that day. I randomly got the urge to go online on a separate Discord account. My childhood nickname was RJ, so I named myself Argentina, RJ and Tina, because I wanted to pretend to be a woman online. And I didn't know why I was doing it. I don't remember why I was doing it, but it was like, it felt, I remember feeling very, very nice to pretend to be a woman online. And it wasn't an awakening yet, but I do remember wondering why that felt so nice. In 2022, I was watching either TikTok or YouTube Shorts or something. I would have been about, 14 in 2022, 13, 14, 14 or 15, depending on what part of the year you're in, I think. And I remember watching YouTube Short or TikTok or whatever it was. Did YouTube Shorts even exist back then? It doesn't matter. Back in 2022, I was watching YouTube Short or TikTok or something, and I stumbled upon a meme. It was like a meme compilation, like a short meme compilation, like you'd get on your YouTube Shorts feed nowadays. And it was of I think, a femboy that posted the wrong the images of themselves dressing femininely to the wrong server, like on the wrong account or something. And I remember back then looking at that being like, what? Boys can do that? Boys can dress femininely? Oh boy, I did not know what rabbit hole that would lead me down. I did not know yet what rabbit hole that would lead me down. In the ensuing months, I would research about femboys. And I always thought they were really cool, and I always thought they were so nice and cool, being able to express themselves in a way that, you know, technically conflicts with their gender identity they were assigned at birth. Because, I mean, the way they look, I've seen a lot of femboys that just look very feminine. Like, they don't look like they don't look like men. That's besides the point. Around December of 2022, I started questioning my gender. And I made an announcement in my Discord server at the time, and I said something along the lines of, like, would y'all be okay with it if I came out as trans? At that point, I still didn't know that I was trans yet. It was insane. I had every sign back then that I was trans. but for some reason I never quite thought I was trans. I thought I was faking it. I thought I was an imposter. So I posted that to the Discord server, and some people were like, "Yeah, yeah, you're fine. You're fine. You can come out as trans if you want to. We'll support you." And I remember looking at that and thinking, there's no way I'm trans. Because I never felt like being a woman always felt right to me. Being a man did not. But I could never accept the fact that I was trans. Because being trans was still a very new concept to me back in December of 2022. I didn't know they existed before about 2022. And, I just, like, posted that. People were supportive and shit. And then eventually, in January of 2023, I would release a song to streaming platforms called "I Want to Be a Femboy." There was a demo recorded on December. The final version was recorded on January 10th of 2023, and I'd record that song, and I would, just play it live and stuff, and not think about it, not think about the fact I want to be a feminine boy. Around 2023, I started questioning my gender even more. I started going on and searching about trans people and dysphoria and stuff, and realizing that I've had signs that I was trans, but I've always repressed them. I've always repressed them to a huge degree, and I've never let them come back out. Apparently, this is according to my mom. I don't remember this, but according to my mom when I was younger, my cousin raised my sister. Don't ask me why. I don't know what the fuck that means. But she had me try on a dress, and maybe try makeup. I don't remember exactly what my mom said, but this was like back when I was like maybe like very young. I don't know exactly when, but very young. It was when my dad was still around, I'm pretty sure. And she had me try on a dress. And I remember talking to... My mom remembers me talking to her, and we just talked for a little bit, and I was like, I feel very pretty. And she was like, that's good, I'm glad. How do you feel very pretty? And then my dad would probably barge in or something and be like, you can't do that, you're a man. You can't wear dresses or like the color pink or anything. Fuck that guy. But anyways, so I don't know. Growing up I really liked the color pink. And it's such a purple. And then at some point in time I switched to blue because I always felt like I needed to be a masculine man and not a woman. Not being a womanly colors, even though gender can't be defined by a fucking color. But yeah, so where was I at in the story? I forget now. Oh yeah. I released on I Want to Be a Femboy, and I started questioning my gender more. Around June or July of 2023, I started being like, what if I am trans? Cause like I always felt like at that point in time I started questioning, and I was like, what if I am trans? And around July, in June I was still a femboy. I still consider myself a femboy around June 2023. I did my first ever live performance at the Coshocton, Ohio Pride Festival, which I do every year now, by the way. And I went there as a femboy. And I didn't know what to make of it. But I'm getting sidetracked. So in July 2023, I started researching a little bit more, and I think around mid-July, I came out as trans. And that was like a realization moment for me, because I started going by different names. I started socially transitioning. I couldn't physically transition until, I had the way to do that. I never really spoke to much people about my gender identity or anything. I just always said I was a guy or a femboy, if I even said I was a femboy. So I started socially transitioning. And I just remember how nice and euphoric it felt to be called a woman, a girl, anything. And I just remember being there. And people would call me... I called myself Envy at that point in time. I didn't know why, and I still don't know why I call myself Envy. I think Envy is a cool fucking name. Honestly, Envy's a really fucking cool name. But I went by Envy in my first stage of my transition. And things were going well. And they're still going well in the transition now. But I just remember how euphoric I felt, how great I fucking felt by being called a female and being called a feminine. Well, I guess, is that even considered a feminine name? I don't know, honestly, but I like it. I liked it back then. So, um, that, I didn't really start dressing femininely that often yet until about 2025-ish. Because I always felt like I was, like, what's it called? A butch female? Butch trans femme? I think. Oh, it's a female that still presents pretty masculine, but has female gender identity. And like gender is a spectrum. You don't have to dress feminine or masculine or androgynous or anything. You don't have to dress in a certain way to feel how you feel. You just have to feel how you feel and accept that and go along with whatever your brain or your heart is telling you to do. So in about 2025, I started dressing more femininely. I wore dresses. I would wear a skirt and thigh highs and a hoodie. That's like the generic femboy outfit, but like it still works in this case. I would start doing that because that was what my idea of uh, femininity was for some reason back then in 2025. I know 2025 was only like a year ago, but still, like a lot has changed in the past year. Um, and I was shaving during that time too. I would shave quite often, and so I would just keep shaving, and I loved it. I loved in 2024. Sorry, I forgot to mention this. On July 5th of 2024, I started HRT. It was originally patches, estrogen patches, and that's all I was on for the longest time, for in 2024. And I remember them not working very well, like not much changing, because I was still very early in my transition, and patches I don't think worked very well, but I could be wrong about that. I don't know. If anyone is an experienced like estrogen patch user, then try to explain in the comments if they work pretty well, because I never had a good experience with estrogen patches. Probably because I wasn't very good on keeping them and like putting a new one on. But like, so I started HRT, and I remember not feeling any different about myself. I remember always still feeling like I was ugly, always feeling like I was insecure, very not good about myself. And starting about this year, I started dressing more femininely again. I started shaving more often again, and I felt like I've started to notice some changes about me, like looking wise. Like personality's still the same. Estrogen doesn't change your personality or anything, but I also started on T blockers around the beginning of this year too, and fuck, that was a huge improvement. I switched to estrogen pills at some point too. Originally on half a dose, which was horrible. Nothing changed, and then I started on one dose. Now I'm taking two a day, one in the morning, one at night, and T blockers. And fuck, I love how I look now. Like I'm not exactly where I want to be yet. I'm not exactly the feminine type I want to be yet. I just still kind of masculine, but people have started calling me a female or a lady or ma'am or stuff like that when I'm in public places without me even shaving. It's crazy. And these people don't even know me. These people don't know I'm trans. They don't know anything about me. But I will go out in a dress and start walking around like shaved and stuff, and not shaved sometimes too. People will still call me a lady or ma'am, and fuck, it feels great. I never thought I would pass enough to the point that I would be considered a lady or ma'am or a woman in general. I never thought I'd be considered a woman. I'd always thought I'd be just considered a trans woman. I never thought people would see me just as a woman. Fuck, that feels great. I'm a woman. I'm a woman. And I love being a woman. Where's I going with this? I don't remember where I was going with this now. I'm just going to probably stop the recording here, honestly, because I've been rambling for almost 15 minutes now. And yeah, so if you like this type of content, me just, talking and just like unedited rambling with like maybe some gameplay in the background or something, then please, like this video, subscribe, I don't know. Because I might be coming out more of these soon with like more thoughts about just like more me talking about me being trans or my gender identity or my questioning of them, my gender identity, and you know, like my mental health issues and everything else in between. And probably just going on about life too, life stories, how I've been. Um, so if you like this type of content, like the video, maybe subscribe. You don't have to, but you can. You can comment down below, say if you liked it or not, and I'll try to do more of these. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate you for watching this all the way through. I know this was very incoherent. This was very much incoherent rambling for like 15 minutes, but like I wanted to get this video out in a way that, you know, made sense to me, and I don't know how to write it down into a script because I'm a lot better at improv than I am at actual, you know, writing of stuff. I'm a lot better at improv and knowing what I want to say in that regard. If there's anything else that I wanted to add to this video, I'll put it in the description or a pinned comment or something. But yeah, so I hope you enjoyed. My name is Reina. I am a woman. If any transphobes see this video, go fuck yourself. I don't care what you think about me. I'm always gonna be a woman. And I'll talk to y'all later. Thank you for watching. Bye.